Hello, everybody, and welcome to Betway's Wager to Win. We move on to the vaal race meeting today, the second race in particular, around the turn over 2,400 metres. In terms of the Betway market, I can tell you number 3, Nuclear Force, is the 3-1 favourite. Number 5, Caramandel at 7-2. This was around 10 o'clock this morning, as far as the betting is concerned. Third choice in that particular race, 1, Wonderworld at 9-2. And number 9, Karapi, is at 9-2. There are a few in here, Daryl Marie, that must have chances. What do you like?
Yeah, firstly, welcome back, Clyde. Nice to have you back on the show. We've got a few form updates to touch on. Numbers 2, 4, 5, and 6 all ran behind every cloud over the weekend. Number 5 obviously performed best. Coromandel ran second, beaten 2 lengths. Number 4, Liverpool Legend, ran 5th, beaten 5 lengths. Summerland, number 6, 8th. And number 2, On Pitipat, 10th. Now, obviously, on paper, there's very little separating Nuclear Force and Karapi behind the absolute value run. I'm favouring Karapi because, in my opinion, he's a bit one-paced, right? And he's only got 53 kilograms to shoulder. So I think Muzi's going to take the bull by the horns, get up handy, if not lead, and try catch him on the break at the top of the straight because he is very fit. So I'm going 9/3.
Okay, 9/3 is what Daryl's got for us. We're going to have a look at our bipod selections then with regards to the event and take a look at our selections. Daryl Marie's got his bipod worked out where he's going 3 and 9 by 5, 10, 13, 15. So quite a difficult one the following race. Banker 5 just now by Banker 12. Then 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and 2. And there are 3 bankers in this bipod with a 2 at the back. It's just a 40 Rand perm that we want to work out today. And hopefully that way we can get some bipod money. Let's get on to the third race now. It's time for the place accumulator in this particular event, an open race, one would have thought, although they have got War Queen as top of the boards, 18-10, number 15 on the card when we did the show around 10 o'clock this morning. The next choice in the betting, the second prize favourite anyway, number 10, Jumping Analia, 5-2. 5, Flying Puma, 7-2, and you can get about 10-1 and better about the others. The form does not, unfortunately, it's not persuading whatsoever, Daryl. We haven't been any winners from any particular line as far as I can see. So one's not really happy with it coming into the race. I'm glad you've played it safe.
I just hope I get through this leg, Clyde. Like you touched on, the form on offer is below par. Obviously, War Queen can make improvements. I mean, it was a fair debut in a work rider event. Richard Farina takes the ride. She's very quick. Will she hold on? Let's see how she goes. She should go very close on the exposed form. The horse probably to beat on a line through Wilkies is number 5, Flying Puma, Clyde. On debut, she also ran around. She had excuses. I thought she was unlucky not to have won. But she beat Wilkies on debut, whereas Wilkies has got the better of number 10, Jumping Analia, and number 15, War Queen. But on the other hand, Clyde, number 5, Flying Puma, started 100-1 on debut, so there was no confidence from the yard whatsoever. She just needs to back up that effort, and she could get it right in her second start. Of the unraced runners, I've opted to go with number 13, Out the Mist. Now, she's related to Soul of Wit, who won quite a few races in the region of 1,400 meters. But I see there's no anti-post support for her in the market. So I don't believe she's fancy to make a winning debut because I thought by now she would have shortened. But let's see how she goes on debut. I've gone all of 5, 10, 13, and 15 in the opening leg of the PA.
Yeah, I see that. And Out the Mist is still 25-1. Okay, let's put those place accumulators up. For the viewers out there, we can take a look at what it looks like. You can write them all down now. You've got the first leg, 5, 10, 13, 15. We're bankering the 5 in the next leg by banker 12. Then we're going 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. Then banker 2 just now. So 3 bankers in the place accumulator. The last two legs, we've got 2, 3, 4, and 7, just to make sure, and 1, 3, 9, and 11. It's a 320 Rand. I think it's the safest way to play today's place accumulator. All right, pick six time. Let's get straight into the action now for the pick six and have a look at what Daryl's decided to go with in this particular event. And as far as the market is concerned, Tony Peters got number 5, Sunshine Day at 7 to 5. Lucky Udalakis has got the 4 on the horizon at 9 to 4. And Paul Matchett, I haven't seen a run like this, Daryl, for as long as 20 years from the Paul Matchett stable. The man is absolutely flying. He's got this horse number 1, Shiny Silver, 5 to 1. Number 9 on the card, Bees and Honey, is 7 to 1. And 18 to 1 and better about the others. I mean, there are stables that they're having great runs at the moment. But Paul Matchett is in another league entirely.
Clyde, I'll tell you something. If number 1 wasn't trained by Paul Matchett, he certainly wouldn't have gone into my pick 6. I would have banked number 5 with confidence. And I must be honest, number 1, I don't really fancy her chances, but I don't know the well-being of number 5. I mean, she's making her debut for a new yard. She brings that Western Cape maiden form line over here up on the Highveld. So now in her later start, Clyde, it wasn't a bad effort whatsoever. In that race, there was a filly called Women's World who's come out and won since then. And Miss New York came out in her post-maiden efforts and ran second. Now, we've seen several horses in the past that have joined Tony Peters' yard and improve. I'm sure she could fall in the exact same category as those in the past and could make a winning debut for a new yard. So I am going into this race bullish with regards to her chances of the race runners. She's my clear-cut first pick. But like I said, I did back her up with number 1 in the pick 6. I think she's the only other runner. That Big City Girl form line doesn't excite me whatsoever. I know it was against winners, but I thought that was a below average handicap. Clyde, what's interesting is Richard Free's taken the ride on number 4 of here, On the Horizon. Now she's related to Summer Odyssey, who's trained by Alan Creef. I think she's a one-time winner, and she's just run off them in a few listed events. All I can say to the viewers is watch the market come race time and see if there's any follow-through with regards to her in the market. But I'm going 5 from 1, Clyde.
Yeah, I see the first time as 9 to 4, but watch the market closely. From a pick 6 perspective, you guys know how it works by now. But let's put Daryl's pick 6 up and take a look at what we're going to do today. In the first leg, we're going 1 and 5 by banker 12, by 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. By banker 2, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the last leg, 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 16. That's a 560 Rand perm. You can add in whatever you may like that we haven't perhaps picked up in this pick 6. But that's our pick 6 of the day. All right, guys, let's get to race number 5 now. What are we talking about in a race like this in terms of jackpots? Because that's what we want to have a look at, race 5. Number 12 was up, tops the boards, odds on. It's priced up at 8 to 11. It's one of the bankers of the day. Looks very, very hard to beat. The closest to it in the market, Daryl, is the Source Royal Edition. Number 11 is second choice, 5 to 2. Otherwise, it's 10 to 1 bar those. Hard to beat?
Clyde, if you open the book and you have a look at the form on offer, Royal Edition beat was up on debut by half a length. But then you're going to have to go and watch the replay to understand why. I'm 100% certain that Caden Brewer's instructions were to come out softly and angle him to the middle outside to what appeared to be the better going on the day. That cost him more than half a length. So in my mind, I've got no concerns over the 11 having the better of number 12 was up on paper, because I think he's going to reverse that form and reverse it quite convincingly. So yes, possibly the best bets on the card. Let's see how King Shinshah goes in the first. He represents that Wazak form line. Clyde, take note on debut. Wazak was heavily supported. There was substantial amount of trade on Interbet. He was fancied to run a big race. He's much better than that effort. So you can go in this race with a lot of confidence that he's going to take all the beating. 12 from 11, if you're playing trifectas and quartets, add in number 8, Mr. Spain, making his debut as a gelding. He can certainly make improvements.
Yeah, I see the market the way they opened was up, opened 14-1, started 5-1, and Royal Edition opened 33-1, started 125-1 on debut. So I guess based on that, I mean, the fact that Wazup was warmed up the way he was in terms of being prepared and ready to go and win it, well, he may well be very hard to beat. And Daryl Marie in his jackpots, he's bankering that. So let's put that jackpot up and take a look at what the story is. First leg banker number 12 by 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, by banker 2 later, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. They're using the outside going today, supposedly. Let's see how it's all been playing out. You'll know by now if you're watching this live. All right, guys, if you haven't played today, here's an opportunity to get a second jackpot on. We'll have a look at race number 6 on the card. Take a look at what the guys want to do here. We've got a jackpot worked out for you for 280 Rand from Daryl Marie. And in this particular race, let's have a look at what the market suggests for you. And we'll bring it to your attention in just a second. The favourite is number 6, French Impact, at about 10 o'clock this morning, trading 18-10. 2, Captain of Grit, 2-1. 1, Now I Got You's 9-2. Number 7, Archimedes, 5-1. And then you can get around 13-2, this horse number 5, Houston. Just how open are we going to go, Daryl?
Well, Clyde, when I did my perms, I actually excluded 2 runners, numbers 4 and 5. Since then, number 4's been scratched. So I've left one horse out of my perms. That's number 5, Houston. And number 3's been scratched, who I originally included. Clyde, I found this race very interesting. Now, there is an equipment change since the book has been printed. Number 7, Archimedes, is going to be equipped with a set of blinkers. And he's drawn high in gate number 6. Only got 52 kilograms to shoulder. We know Jason Gates likes to get them out and running early. If he can get into a good rhythm and not pull with those blinkers first time out, I think he could prove very hard to peg back. In saying that, Clyde, I don't like the look of this race. I think that you can make a case for each and every one of these runners. Number 1, Now I Got You. Have a look at his rating. He's right down to a 91. Very disappointing effort last time out, but the tongue tie gets removed and pacifiers go on. So there are a few equipment changes with regards to him. Captain of Grit, I thought he made a surprising comeback victory. I don't believe the stable is expecting that. A fair second run off the rest, he's got a chance. French Impact, post made an effort last time out. He was dropped in from a wide draw, never in contention. He could be better than that effort, So possibly a field event, Clyde.
Possibly a field event, and I mean, there's no point leaving Houston out of the play, so I guess you might as well just add that in place of the scratching, or maybe just add it in. That's up to the viewer. It's been brought to your attention. Let's put Daryl's jackpot up quickly. Please, Cameron and Dylan, let's take a look. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7 by banker 2. Remember, in the first leg, you can include Houston, who's the horse that's not in the player, and that is alive, or that is a runner, that you want to add that in. So put it in by banker 2 in the second leg, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, by 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 16. So hope our banker arrives. Cost around 280 Rand or thereabouts to get your second jackpot up and running. On to race number 7 now. And here, number 2, Total Surrender, tops the boards, currently priced up at 18 to 10. Number 1, Green Light Magic, is 4 to 1. Number 4, Pewter Sky, is 9 to 2. Number 6, Over to You, is 5 to 1. Bar and Words has also been having a pretty good run the last month or so. And number 8, Silvano's Song, is 11 to 2. They bet 8 to 1 and better about the others. Total Surrender, a winner of his last start, Daryl. So you're recommending you go back to back?
Clyde, this is a very nice horse in the making. If you open the book, you're going to say to yourself, he's got his work cut out, because several have got the beating of him at the weights, especially number 8, Silvano's Song. But you know what, Clyde, you just have to see him in the flesh and the manner in which he won last time out to understand that he's a better horse than he's currently rated. I mean, he did pick up a 3-kilogram penalty for winning last time out. In my mind, it was an easier victory than what the margins appears on paper. He's got the 1 draw. I think Lucky's been waiting for this race for him. He's a very, very nice sort in the making. You know, Silvano's Song's definitely got the beating of him at the weights, but they've met twice in the past. It's 2-0 to Total Surrender. I believe even with the weight turnaround, he's going to make that 3-0. So I'm going into this race with a lot of confidence. I think he's a horse that you can follow in future and possibly could go through the divisions. If you're looking to beat him, obviously you have to include number 8, Silvano's Song. I mean, he's only got 53 kilograms to shoulder. And number 6, Over to You. Now that stable, Clyde, is firing at the moment. But I'm not playing to beat him, Clyde. I don't want to yell defeat today. Let's go in this race with confidence, and let's hope that he can deliver the goods for the punters.
Okay, I'll be on your side of that. I think you're quite right. He's lightly raced. He's done nothing wrong. Maybe on paper there are 1 or 2 issues with the weights, etc. But sometimes these horses have to grow and prove themselves, and he's one of those on these journey to do so. And I remember a very good friend of mine, good punter, telling me a couple of runs ago this horse was going to go right through the divisions. In fact, he wanted me to make an offer to buy the horse. So they rate him very highly. Okay, let's put up, what are we doing now? Straight up, I think, Total Surrender for Daryl. We're having a bit of a dip at that. What price did I say the horse was? Let me just quickly pull up the Betway odds again. He was 18 to 10 this morning, is likely to start shorter than that. So now it becomes a bit more tricky as we have a look at the last 2 races on the card. Let's take a look at the 8th race. It's at 1,200, where number 2, Water Honey, is the favourite, priced up at 5 to 2. Number 4, On Cue, is 33 to 10. 7, Where There She Goes, is 7 to 2. Number 3, Berengaria, 9 to 2. The 5, Second Breath, 5 to 1. 1, Lucy in the Sky, 12s. And number 6, Kayla's Champ, 14. Daryl, that's quoted all of them in the race. Open, and what are you doing?
Yeah, Clyde, Water Honey now, latest effort when she ran second behind She's a Rainbow was an excellent performance. I mean, she gave She's a Rainbow a start, and she gave her weight. It was over 1,400. She had the worst draw. Craig Zaki knows how to ride this filly. He gets her cover, and I thought, although she only got up a short head in her penultimate start, she was always in control of that race. So I've got healthy respect for her. Strictly on paper, number 3's got a chance of reversing the form with Water Honey. Now, she only got beaten a length and a half, and there's a few kilograms swing in the weights for her. She's won up this vaal straight before. She's drawn high. She could bank that outside running rail. So she has to go in. On Cue made a winning debut for a new yard. Got up to beat a very nice filly. She's ultra consistent. The form line's a bit suspect. I think there have been 5 runners. All 5 have run unplaced in their next start. But we're talking about Paul Matchett here, Clyde. So she could step it up since her latest victory. And if you like her chances, There She Goes comes into the play. On the Lollapalooza run, there's nothing separating the 2 of them. And she could actually get a nice running transit behind Berengaria. with Richard Free in the iron. So, yeah, Clyde, I'm not going to single out anything over here. I think it is a tricky event.
Yeah, tough race. You're quite right. There are a few in here, even more than maybe than what you recommend, but we have to take our chances somewhere. Let's put the doubles up. We've got a double, the last double for you guys, and Daryl will show you what that looks like. It's 2, 3, 4, and 7. But there are one or two others that, could squeeze through between them. We're just a little nervous about it. But 2, 3, 4, and 7, and then 1, 3, 9, and 11 at the back. And that's a 16 Rand, the final double of the day. Ninth and final event, number 1, iStars 11-4 favourite at 10 o'clock this morning. 3, Alabama Anna 6-1. Number 7, Reigning Ruby 6-1. 11, Meet the Captain 15-2, and the 2, Dancing Dora 8-1. It's 11-1 and bet to the others, but one of the more tough races on the card, I would have thought, this ninth and final. It has to be if it's a handicap for fillies and mares at the 74 level over 1,200 metres. Which the last time I looked, Daryl, there's 16 of them that are going to the gate. The only one that's not going is the 17.
Yeah, Claude, this is a wide open event. The favourite in iStar has a filly loaded with ability, but she blows hot and cold. On her day, she appears to be very impressive, and then she lets the side down. So I don't think there's going to be anyone rushing in to take her current odds, and she certainly doesn't represent any value. Alabama Anna, now look at her rating. It's come right down to 70. She's got Trent Mayhew taking 4 kilograms off her back. She's drawn high. By now, we'll obviously know if that's the spot you want to be. But she is a 5-year-old mare. She hasn't won in 434 days, but she will be competitive off her current mark. She's back in fillies and mares handicap event. Clyde, number 9, Feather the Nest. This is the one I'm going to be tipping. I know she's held by Alabama Anna at the weights, but she's got 52 kilograms to shoulder. She's drawn high. She's been knocking at the door. She had excuses last time out, and look who takes the ride. Philisande and Toli. She's going to get a lot of confidence from the saddle. So if I had to pinpoint one as the each way played, would be number 9, Feather the Nest. Another one for the short list is number 11, Meet the Captain. I know she comes into this race slightly under sufferance, but she's back up to the same course and distance in which she won 3 runs back in open company with the same jockey in the irons. I think she'll be right there at the finish. So it is a very tricky event. I mean, you can. I've gone wider than the 4 I've mentioned in the pick 6. Let's just hope we can make a few rand in the lucky last.
Yeah, just a reminder to everybody that in Daryl's pick 6, he went 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 16. So that's how challenging the race is. You're quite right. It's not an easy race. It's very light in it as far as for a number of reasons. Having a look at the last couple of form lines, there's not much really to mince with, to be honest. But let's take our chances. It's the last opportunity to get, what are we suggesting here, an exacta? We're boxing these horses in the exacta, 1, 3, 9, and 11. Trust, it's been a good day. Thank you for watching Betway's Weighted to Win. We look forward to catching up during the rest of the week.